Hello and welcome to our 25th episode of our Nightingale Let's Play. I'm your host, ShellowQ, and today we're just basically going to pick up where we left off from last time. So, I remember last time I mentioned that I was going to get a new graphics card. Well, it's really dark in here now. Since I've, upgraded my graphics, it's looking really shiny and nice and new. It almost feels like a completely different game, guys. Like, I still can't get over, like, how different the game looks versus on, like, the previous settings that you guys have probably been watching my Let's Play on. Assuming this isn't the first video you're watching, and if it is, why? So, anyway, I guess I'm gonna have to ask that question because, well, this is episode 25, so you don't expect to start on the 25th episode of anything, right? Right? Anyway, so yeah, we're gonna pick up where we left off. I'm gonna start working on trying to get gear that's good enough to be able to gather certain types of materials and things like that. I decided last time that I wanted to start off by crafting a new gear set, and then from there we're gonna do a little bit of housekeeping, of course, and then afterward we're going to hopefully have enough time to hand in our quest from the watch, which we have over here. Oh, sorry, wrong page. That we have up here in the upper right hand corner here. And yeah, so that's a pretty easy quest to do. But of course I need to focus on trying to upgrade my gear. Now, the one thing that I need to double check real quick. Okay, so it looks like I did have the foresight to do this. Now, I'm recording this episode like probably, I want to say 1 or 2 weeks after the recording of the last episode, so my brain's a little scrambled, but the good news is that since then I've ran through Nightingale City about 3 times, so that whole process should be a lot smoother than it would have been had I recorded it a lot sooner. So there you go. Let me make sure my helper doesn't have any gear on them. Okay, looking good. I'm also going to check my potions. Okay, so it looks like I'm still using moderate health potions. I think I might have access to, let's see. Do I have, okay, I can make great health potions. So I think I'm going to make a bunch of those. You know what, let's make the full 112. Let's make sure I have the right kind of stuff here so I'm not using any materials that I want to use for something else. And of course, you know, that is our, hold on a second. Yeah, there it is, the great health. I was like, I didn't realize I had any on me already. But basically the reason why I'm checking that is because I plan to take this out of my inventory. We're gonna get this over to my helper. And a lot of you probably don't realize this, but you can actually equip the health potions onto your helper, and you can also adjust their behavior so that you can allow them to use potions. So like in my case, you know, I leave potions allowed, but you have to make sure you equip it first, otherwise they don't know they have potions. I know that sounds silly, but I guess it's more like, not that they don't know they have potions, it's more like they don't know they're allowed to use them, if that makes sense. So yeah, that's just something else to think about. But yeah, there's that. Now let's start off with the Druidic Bonnet. I might do a time lapse on this. Also, because it's so dark in my household now, I decided I'm gonna probably put some lamps down. You know what, let's do some lamps. I'm just gonna freely place a few. Gonna do some carved wood and paper. And some more carved wood. Oops. Some more carved wood and paper. There we go. It's a little brighter. It looks a little weird because it doesn't really match anything in here, but to be fair, I don't really care about the matching as long as it does the job, I guess. So I'm gonna move this over actually. Let's move this like over here actually. I don't like it being like right above my head because it's just kind of weird looking. There we go. That should be a little bit better. And you know what? Let's make another one and put it like right there. That way we have a little bit of lighting above here. There we go. All right. So next, let's start off with the Druidic Bonnet. So I'm going to need some cloth, lining, Flower, what did I make here? Ooh, looks like I actually put some fabled elder Jotunwood that I've collected in the past to be processed, so that's really nice. And I'm going to make sure to put that away. There we go. All right. Let's start off with the cloth. So in order to get that cloth that I need a bunch of thread, and it's not going to make itself. So we have some tier 4 Holt Bloom, and that's the only tier 4 thread I have right now, and I have 15 of them. So that is not good. I need higher tier thread. So I'm kind of thinking that what might make more sense here would be to... Okay, so, alright, so let me slow down, because I'm getting ahead of myself. I want to explain something really quick. So right now we have tier 3 gear on, right? The gear we're about to make is tier 3 plus, I believe. I don't think it's 3 plus. I think it's plus. Let me make sure. Yeah, it's 3 plus. So with this gear, this is not going to be our final set of gear for the end of the game. The final set, in my case, I think I'm gonna go with the Wrangler set as my favorite, as my final, you know, set of gear for tier 4. So until I make that final set, having the best of ingredients in order to, or materials to make my outfit isn't necessarily at the highest part of my, how do I say this? It's not gonna matter as much right now, especially since I'm only really running this on Explorer. If I were running this on a higher difficulty, like let's say I planned on going into Nightingale City on like Nightmare or some harder difficulty, yeah, I would have a much, I probably would even skip this whole set of gear and just go straight for the Wrangler set, using tier 4 essence. Because right now we have only 20 tier 4 essence, but you know, I would take the time to go farm that essentially. I'm not really worried about that. I think that right now our main thing should just be to get our foot through the door, so we're just gonna worry about that first. So we're gonna make that. We're gonna make that Holt Bloom. I'm also gonna take this tier 3 Holt Bloom. We're gonna probably make that as well into thread, and then of course we're gonna make our cloth. Now the thing about cloth is that there's different types of cloth, so I think I've explained this before, but I'm just gonna do a quick refresher. We have the durable cloth, which also requires lining, and in order to make that lining you need to use cloth and thread. So you can basically fold a bunch of stats into the same thing. We're not going to do that for this recipe, but I just wanted to quickly remind you guys of that so that you're aware that that is a possibility or a option when you're crafting your set of gear. So yeah, we're gonna do that. We also have some lining. So we have Titania's Crown tier 3 for the cloth. I think I'm gonna mix that with this other thread. I need multiples of it though, so we're gonna do it with the Holt Bloom instead. And then we're also going to need a flower. I'm sure I have a few. Let's see what we have in our inventory here. So we have chamomile, dahlia, delphinium, I think I said that right. Sunflowers, snapdragon. I don't think it really matters what kind of flower you use as long as, you know, it's whatever. That well, as long as it fits the slot, that's all that matters, right? I think I'm also going to move this here and process these first before we finish all that thread. And then let's see, for the boots we need leather and cloth and buckles. Now with the leather, remember again, this is another area where we can make something like reinforced leather instead of regular leather, and that requires fasteners. And just remember, whenever you're making reinforced anything, it requires basically double the materials, so you want to make sure you have enough if you're going to do something like that. And you have to be kind of careful about your calculations before you start inputting stuff, because if you don't have enough of something, you can't mix and match like two different types of leather for the same leather input, if that makes sense. So remember, that's something to think about. Gonna apply that to our Mystic Axe pick. Now the cool thing about the tier 3 weapons and stuff is that you have 3 slots for like, well, anything that's tier 3 plus, you have 3 slots for enchantments, which is kind of cool. So it's always a welcome sight. We're gonna put that Charm of Mining on there. Notice we're only at 74 instead of 84, which is kind of crazy. But I mean, the melee damage is so much higher, and this is really the kind of stats that I'm looking for, that it doesn't really matter. So I tend to look more at the stats than I do at item level or like gear score, if that makes sense. But this axe pick I'm actually going to give to my helper, so that works out nicely. I'm gonna upgrade from that tier 2, give them something else to hold on to. I also want to change out their weapon from the Mystic Slingbow. The reason why they have this, I think, is because I got it from a quest. So that's not going to be very helpful going forward. And I want to make sure I am only really putting helpful stuff on myself. Alright, so we're going to take some infusions, critical, durability, and all that. Melee damage, whatever. And we're going to start infusing stuff. So this is going to be infused onto the axe pick for durability. I'm going to, so right now it's at 94, so notice it's even higher gear score than the previous one. And I'm not really surprised, because even though these numbers look low at first, once you start adding the other stuff onto it, like infusions and, you know, charms and stuff like that, it really just makes such a difference. So yeah, level 88 on the hat. I mean, this is just like bottom of the barrel kind of crafting too. I'm not like doing anything special. I'm not adding, you know, any cool materials. I'm not going out of my way to have better gear or something. So yeah, that's kind of the reality of it, is that if you go for bottom of the barrel, you're looking at probably like level 88 to like yeah, probably level 88 for tier 3 plus. Let's put on some onto the pants. What else needs an infusion? Okay, that has one. This has one. The shoes. There we go. So there. Now we have all. Oh, the gloves. Let's go with magic power on the gloves. Can't hurt, right? Cool. So now we have that figured out. I'm gonna put... Actually, I'm gonna hold on to all that stuff in my inventory. We're gonna put down the polished coral. And now we're going to make ourselves better weapons. So the wood axe is the next thing that I want to have a really good wood axe on. But I also need some firearms. So I think I'm gonna go for something like... Well, actually, let me choose what firearm I'm gonna go with, so I know what kind of ammo I need. Let's take a look. So I have my longbow that I could use, or is it a short bow I have equipped? I think it's a longbow. No, it's the short bow. Okay. Sorry about that. Yeah, so it's the short bow. Let's see. The lever action rifle is better for like closer up, I guess. So maybe I could use the lever action rifle for like kind of like mid-range attacks, and then like the bow or longbow or long-range attacks, which I think is fair. I guess that could work, right? So I think I'm gonna do that. So maybe I'm gonna build the longbow first, and then we're gonna maybe go with something like a revolver, so we can just kind of go through enemies a little bit faster. Shotgun is possible choice. I mean, I haven't really messed too much with the shotguns, but the shotguns are actually gonna be kind of useful in some of those tighter crammed areas, so maybe I should make that instead of the lever action rifle. That way I'm not carrying 3 types of ammo on me at the same time. But yeah, I think I'm gonna make the axe, and then of course we do need an upgraded hunting knife, but the hunting knife isn't really going to be very useful in this new area unless I'm like actually fighting with it, which I almost never do. So, you know, make with that what you will. Climbing picks are essential though. That is probably going to be the first thing I make. So let's make those climbing picks. That's going to be the most important thing to make, and it'll make sense once we get in there, don't worry. We'll make the mystic shotgun. We're going to go with the shotgun and the revolver, and then we can also make that I could make a spyglass, but it's kind of not really needed, I would say. Trying to think if there's anything else. Fishing rod would be nice, but that's not like the first priority, if that makes sense. The reason why I'm talking about the fishing rod at all this late into the game is because when you go into Nightingale City, there's a fish you can get called the Dream Scale, and that one has like a ton of really, really spicy stats. So if we're able to get that, we're gonna have a good old time making a nice gear set of just that kind of material. So I mean, it'd be cool. It'd be cool to use. Let's see, what else do we have here? We have oh right, so let's put down the wood axe as another item, and I think that's I think I'm gonna go with these first, and then I'm gonna make that longbow last. actually make a mystic hunting knife anyway, because I just don't have a decent knife. And well, you know what? I'm not gonna worry about the knife just yet, but hopefully I don't forget if I go to farm it. But I'm going to track it so that when I come back home, I remember, oh, I need a knife. And also I'm gonna also mark the fishing rod so I can remember to make the fishing rod at a later time. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna extract out of this. The sickle, I think I'm actually gonna put in my tools and ammo box. This bolt action rifle is not gonna do anything, so I'm gonna extract that. I'm also gonna put the knife in there. And let's see, what else do I got? I think I'm gonna swap these weapons. And we're also going to make sure we have the right kind of ammo. So as far as arrows go, this kind of arrow is not really gonna do much for me. I kind of want the implosion arrows, so I think I'm gonna make some of those. As far as the lightning buckshot cartridges, let's see. The American magician Benjamin Franklin and many others have sought to capture lightning in a bottle. Though not in a bottle, this ammunition is the next best thing. That's funny. I like that description. Ice cartridge buckshots could be good, especially if I'm getting chased by stuff. So that's a possibility. So, you know what? I think I'm going to go with the ice cartridges for that. And then for the revolver, I'm going to go with, maybe lightning cartridges, actually. So we'll go with the lightning cartridges for the revolver. And then for that, we'll go with the buckshot ice cartridges. And I need implosion arrows. So, what I'm going to do right now, I don't know if I have a card. Do I have an industry card? I don't think I do. Okay, so we're gonna make a industry card. And we're gonna play this card. Now you're probably wondering why. Well, if you play the card, it increases the yield of crafted ammunition and ingots as well as crafting time of all refinement. So, you're probably wondering, why didn't I play that before? Well, it's because I didn't think it was important. So, I forgot where I put the Realmic transmuter. Jesus. It's been a while since I ran around in this place, and now I'm trying to remember where I put it. Did I never build a transmuter? What card is active? Dragon's Horde? Wow, I think I never built a Realmic transmuter. Holy crap, I thought I did. Wow. Well, I think I know why. It's because I can just go to the crossways and just use it. Because my base is in the crossways, so it's whatever. Anyway, let's use the industry card. And then I'm going to travel to Respite. Alright. Now we got that industry card going. Let's make some ammunition. Alright, so just a quick recap as to what I just made. I gave myself some ice buckshot cartridges, implosion arrows, and lightning revolver cartridges. I also gave myself a druidic bonnet, jacket, explorer's pack, hermetic's casual shirt, druidic breeches, druidic gloves, and druidic boots. And of course I have charm of the leader, charm of essence, charm of the mule, charm of the immovable, charm of meditation, charm of thorns, and charm of the wanderer. I upgraded my umbrella, also has charm of the wind. I also upgraded my climbing picks. I made them out of iron. The materials I used, by the way, were not like min-maxing or anything like that. Also, my gear score technically still isn't high enough to get what I want. So, for example, like I'm gonna use the axe pick. Sorry, I'm gonna use the axe pick to get higher level materials later, but my gear score is only 91 and I need my gear score is only 91 and I need a 100 gear score in order to reach that. So I don't think I have infused anything onto this. I can double check. Okay, so just to confirm, it looks like I just need to have a weapon that is the that is the required gear score. So like you see how it says 100 on there? My gear score is only 95, but my weapon is at 102, so I'm actually able to collect these. So, yeah, that's just for future reference, because I wasn't entirely sure, but just double checking that, it looks like, yeah, you do need to have a weapon score of that much. It's not based on gear score, but weapon score in this case, so yeah. Anyway, let's head back. I guess I'm gonna head back to respite, but as I'm heading back to respite, I'm gonna kind of close out this video. So yeah, the main objectives we got done today. We didn't get to the watch, we didn't get to doing that part, but that's gonna be the very first thing we do the next time, well actually in episode 26, so that'll be the next episode. That'll be the first thing we do is we go over to the watch, hand in that quest, unlock a way to get to Nightingale City, and then head over to the city and start doing some quests and stuff like that. I'm kind of debating on how to kind of break up the city as far as like different objectives and stuff, because there's different points of interest on the map, and I'm not entirely sure if I want to just kind of breeze through them all, or if I want to just kind of do the side quests and then breeze through them all. I don't know. Or I could just do a few and you know, leave the rest for, you know, some other time. But there is a boss on that map too, so it's just like an extra layer of difficulty, I guess, just trying to figure out what I want to do in particular. And yeah, so that was this was mainly what we needed to do today. We just needed to make sure that we had all of our stuff. It looks like I still have this shirt on them for some reason. I'm gonna extract that. But yeah, you can see the star ruby we just gathered. That's tier 5. I might go back and get some other stuff. I don't remember if there's other stuff on the map that was higher up. I think there was some stuff that I might want to harvest with a sickle. But if I do that, I'm probably gonna do that off the video or some other time, and then I'll just kind of mention it in passing that I got it done. But yeah, I might have to do some farming and stuff, which isn't the most fun thing, I guess, because like last episode was kind of like our farming video, so I kind of wanted to show you guys what that's a little bit like. I'm not gonna say it's not fun, it's just it's really time consuming and I don't want to bore you guys, so yeah, either way, we had a good day here. I think the graphics are looking pretty good in this room. I mean, the lighting is so different, and you know, we didn't really go out and like check out the world much, but we're definitely going to see some changes, especially when we head to the watch, because the watch just looks so different. So yeah, it's going to be something. We're also going to have to make some food and things like that before we go. But yeah, anyway, thanks for watching, guys. I hope you have a wonderful day, and as always, Sholo out.